Today, yet again, we've got some crazy crypto news to cover. And so if you've not done it yet, make sure you press that like button as I'm trying to keep you all up to date. Again, from the beautiful Miami right now, and like I said, things are about to get wild. First of all, in terms of the Bitcoin price, I always remain bullish. I'm an eternal bull. But that does not mean on the short term things aren't different or interesting. Right now, what we're seeing for Bitcoin is that it just filled the CME gap, and interestingly enough, actually had a couple of nearly perfect moving average rejections in the near past, as you can see. On the contrary, we also had ourselves a head and shoulder pattern, our breakthrough of the neckline before we bounced off of the 200 weekly moving average, and the blue one here being a 12-hour 200 moving average. Anyway, getting rejected yet again at that neckline before breaking down is just something that I'm watching right now. Again, if you guys are interested in trading crypto, there will always be some links down below because usually there are thousands of dollars worth of bonuses that you can get with these referral links that you wouldn't get without them. For example, on Bybit with this link, you can get up to $30,000 worth of bonuses. Without it, only $4,000. Anyway, if you've been following me over on Twitter, you'd probably have seen the announcement that Ripple actually just acquired a new company. You can see Ripple has acquired MetaCo SA, a Swiss-based provider of asset custody and tokenization technology, for a $250 million check. Another interesting thing that came out a couple hours ago, you can see here 2 hours, is an update on timing regarding when we should see the documents ordered unsealed. So what we talked about late last night, an update to that. According to the court's 9/12/2022 order, the parties have 21 days to file public redacted versions of summary judgment documents consistent with the sealing ruling. So June 6th is 21 days from yesterday's ruling. Now, BC Backer asked a question, rightfully so. Hey James, historically we've seen the SEC put up some delay tactics. Are there any appeals they can file on this ruling? If so, could they wait until the 21st day and then file an appeal delaying it even further? And Jeremy Hogan said, well, they've got 10 days to file an appeal, but I personally don't think the judge is going to buy it. Again, one thing that's really trending in the XRP community right now is lawyers stating, and by the way, you can see it right here, Ripple and just left, XRP are both trending. Anyway, the XRP community lawyers, they're all coming together to state that probably a lot of the ruling with regards to Ripple and the SEC's case is probably already done. What I mean with that is that the judge basically already figured out everything. She's just trying to find the right way to get everything out to the world, the right order, the right documents, etc. Because remember a little while ago where we said that the judge has seen the documents and, well, she probably will only make public the ones that she uses for her ruling. She's now made everything public. And again, following Jeremy Hogan's own words, did anyone else reading the SEC versus Ripple order on sealing today think that the language reads as though at least a large portion of the order on summary judgment, which is the main thing that we're waiting for, has already been drafted? Because again, she writes that this whole situation with personal privacy interests, yada yada, is minimally relevant to the court's decision on the summary judgment motions. Now, you can't really say that unless you're already pretty far into it all. And the court agrees that the confidential settlement agreement should be sealed because the contents of these settlement agreements have minimal relevance to the summary judgment motions, signaling yet again that she's pretty far into all of it already. Honestly, I've been enjoying the last couple of days with just everybody roasting the living crap out of Gary Gensler. And now it's funny that Coinbase and Ripple are really starting to bond together. And you know, Ripple's got a lot of support for the lawsuit and Coinbase has also got a lot of support for the lawsuit, both fighting against the SEC. And all of a sudden, the amount of support for Ripple seems overwhelming, and the probability of Ripple and XRP turning out to be a loss is just, it's so few. It's like, personally, I can't see it happening anymore. Them straight up losing. Another couple of pieces of news. One cool thing is that Uniswap will now go live on Polkadot through Moonbeam Parachain. Something that was indeed lacking for a good while, and finally it is starting to happen. Polkadot is set to welcome Uniswap through Moonbeam Parachain. Axie Infinity was the most pumped up coin in the top 100 today, and that's because they found a way to evade Apple's 30% Apple Store tax. Or rather, the company behind Axie Infinity, which is called Sky Mavis, they found a workaround which was pretty cool, and obviously that pumped up the price. From a completely different angle, because you gotta also have these articles in there. The UK, they're trying to basically regulate crypto as gambling. Don't want to say that word in case YouTube flags my video, but a report from the UK Treasury Committee finds consumers are at risk when investing in unbacked crypto assets, and they should be regulated as this little word right there, which is pretty crazy. The UK has been on a stupid crypto path anyway. Another piece, if you're a Hedera Hashgraph HBAR holder, pretty positive news. They've just announced a 182-year-old company, Kofra, with over 60,000 employees worldwide to join their governing council. Again, just pretty bullish if you're into HBAR. Once more, I want to make this really clear. The amount of articles I've seen, the amount of lawyers I've seen talk about the fact that this whole Ripple situation is already figured out, the whole lawsuit that the judges already put everything into place. It's pretty high, all right? Most lawyers in the XRP community all seem to think about it. Very hot take, the summary judgment ruling is obviously written, maybe completely finished, maybe some final touches left. Been saying any day now for a while, but it's really any day now. Also, nothing amazingly unexpected in this ruling except for Hinman's email decision. He says it's good and bad news because a complete Ripple win would have given Judge Torres an out to not order production. But the same goes for the SEC. Doesn't automatically mean neither can win outright, but as I've predicted, still think these are both low probabilities. This could compel the SEC to settle, yes, but I think the cat's out of the bag on these docs, and eventually some enforcement case would have gotten them publicly disclosed anyway, and if not here in the Ripple, it would have been there. But the tone of this ruling is pro-Ripple, so let's hope that carries on into the summary judgment ruling. I know we're busy with all the different news, so let's also cover this. Tether, which is known for being a stablecoin company, right? The issuer of a stablecoin. Apparently, they're pretty bullish on Bitcoin. I didn't know it, but they apparently already held over $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin already. Oh, no, sorry. It's actually more along the lines of $2 billion. They've got $2.5 billion above their 100% reserve and about 2% of their portfolio in Bitcoin, which again, the 2.5 billion was about 3%, so you do the maths. And right now they basically said, hey, we're gonna take up to 15% of our new monthly net operating profits and invest them right into Bitcoin, which in my opinion is a pretty interesting stance because it's like, well, if they really were more bullish on fiat, or on the US dollar, they'd buy more dollars or whatever. But they're putting it into Bitcoin, which I think is always kind of funny. It's like even a stablecoin issuer knows crypto better than their own thing that they're supplying. There's right now also an interesting situation with Coinbase as the last couple of days they've been counting off of something or counting onto something, whatever. People are kind of talking about what exactly it could be. Could it be a lawsuit? Could it be a listing? Could it be another announcement of them doing something crazy? Nobody seems to know, but it's peculiar. Why are they counting down? Another interesting thing, I did not confirm this, nor have I found it in any other source, but one of my friends, Shul, says Pakistan, a country of 280 million people, is apparently planning or potentially looking into banning crypto. Could be interesting. And you can see right below that Balaji, he's going at it again. As we get closer to the debt blow-up, people paradoxically feel safer. Why? Because it's been a long time since the last one, and because they have been doubling down on debt with no consequences. And honestly, the whole debt situation in the US is just so strange. I mean, yes, I talk about how the SEC handles things in a weird way when it comes to crypto, and the same thing can be said for how they reply to Coinbase here, because they're basically making a joke out of themselves all the way through. Well, it seems that it's not the only agency in the US that doesn't know how to handle things, as apparently US citizens' debt passes $17 trillion for the first time in history. So, we got a new all-time high. Not the proper one, but we got one. Two other pieces that I missed because I was traveling is that the European Union MiCA bill, the law passed requiring identification for all crypto transactions, aka move out of the European Union if you're a crypto person, and also that a memo obtained by a Fox News reporter, so take it with a grain of salt, suggests Democrats are aligning with the SEC in an anti-crypto stance. Alright, but now before we move on with this video, let me quickly tell you about our partner for today's video, which is called Reshape. They're basically a project that aims to empower developers with the tools and resources they need to advance their Web3 projects and drive mass adoption of blockchain and metaverse technologies. I know that sounds kind of boring, but what they do is actually pretty cool. They're developing a suite of comprehensive tools and resources that enable seamless interoperability between different metaverses through blockchain. For this, they've got two different cryptocurrencies that they primarily use, Viz, and another crypto which is called Verse, which both are the central parts of their entire ecosystem. Now, a little bit ago, Reshape, this company, actually also acquired the Shibaverse project, for if you guys know it, which is currently undergoing a rebrand and a rebuild or expansion of sorts of its metaverse. And you can check on Shibaverse.io. You can check the Genesis district out already just to get a little glimpse of what it's about to be and potentially learn a little bit more about the $verse. With regards to Viz, they've got themselves a pre-sale going on right now. And again, in this video, I'm showing you guys exactly how to get in if it's something you want to, but understand I'm partnered up with them for this video. So if you want to get in, always do your own due diligence. Always do your own research and check for yourself if it's something you should buy. If you're wondering what does it do, well, Viz, or the full token name Vision City, is basically designed to be the central currency within this Reshape, facilitating all transactions within their framework, and token holders will be able to vote on proposals, influence the direction and development of the protocol, whereas Verse is an ERC20 standard compliant token, which will also play a crucial role in the ecosystem. If it's something you're interested in at all, make sure you check out their light paper over on their website. And again, you can also check out this pre-sale. It is pretty cool. But now let's move on with the video. Then we got something quite peculiar, something that I never thought I would cover in my life. But apparently tokens built on Dogecoin result in an all-time high in daily transactions. I didn't know anybody was building anything on Dogecoin, and I sure didn't know that it was getting popular either, but I guess with the whole ordinal situation over on Bitcoin getting extremely popular right now, it also kind of makes sense for people to push this through onto things like Dogecoin. Again, what it says right here is that it even surpassed those of the Bitcoin network according to data from BitInfo charts. The surge is largely credited to users creating meme tokens using frameworks that are influenced by the Ordinals protocol on Bitcoin, also called Doginals. Yeah, and with that in mind, how are meme coins doing? Well, yeah. Not too good. I mean, Dogecoin down 90% from all-time high, Shiba down 90%, Pepe down 65%, Floki down 91%. Generally speaking here, the meme coin phase, you know, the surge, let's all go. That's a little bit behind us for right now, but a lot of meme coins still are popping off. I actually have bought a couple of different ones recently. And from that perspective, I'd like to quickly state, if you've not been following me over on Twitter, make sure you do so. I'm actually doing a little giveaway over on Twitter as well, and I might do another one over on Instagram/TikTok. Make sure you follow me on one of those places at least as well. And then a situation I did not fully want to cover because I just don't really understand it. Ben Armstrong dumps his own token, is a massive crash incoming for Ben. Well, the situation here is rather, he sold his Ben because he wants to buy the entire Ben. He's gonna pay 1,000 ETH and $250,000 to do so. Yeah, why? Well, because he wants to make Ben a really big thing, and he's buying that from another Ben, who is also creating a token, which had some issues, PSYOP. I'm not involved in any of this. I have $0 in either. Do I think all this stuff could do well? Certainly. It's just not my cup of tea because I was not involved from the start, so then you miss out on a lot of key insights, and right now it's just a matter of I'm confused. I don't really understand what the frick they're doing. It seems he sold about $100,000 or so worth of his token, perhaps even more. I just see a couple of different transfers here, and that brings the point up of, well, if he's got to pay 1,000 ETH to buy Ben, then whatever he's, and $250,000 over the next 6 months, then this is not that much. But people are mostly angry at him because he said earlier that he's not going to be selling any Ben for 6 months, and then just a couple days later he sold it. And one of the most funny things was this one. Probably he meant to tweet 6 days, you know, because this was, 7 days ago. It's kind of funny. Anyway, I still like BitBoy as a person, I've always told you, but his business moves, you need a either very high IQ or extremely low IQ to really fully understand it, because I personally don't. And maybe one of you guys does. That might say something about your IQ. Either it's extremely high or extremely low. You do the math on that one, because it's a confusing situation. Let's just put it like that. Again, love the guy as a person, but his Twitter is a mess. I don't understand any of it. And what is this whole situation with Ben? What is this? Anyway, the whole meme coin situation, guys, don't get burned. I buy so many of them, but I also understand that if you're not quick, you're gonna lose money. Even yesterday, I bought one and I instantly lost money because I bought in a little bit late. Sometimes you get good people that give you multiple calls that are très bien, and then one time they mess up. It's possible. But know that even I get burned on meme coins sometimes, and I very often know people that are going to market it, or I know about the marketing strategies. And so if even I can get burned on those, well, you better watch out. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I'm buying like a madman, but it's not always a winner. Just understand that. And yeah, that's about it.